Hello, my YouTube family. This is the OG Crypto Nujak coming at you with some juicy news. But before I begin, let me say I am not a financial advisor. Anything you see or hear in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered as financial advice. Remember to do your own research and consult with a qualified professional before making investment decisions. Okay, we're going to begin today. The total crypto market cap is 1.21 trillion. It is up 6.1%. Coming in at number one is Bitcoin at 30,081. Haven't seen Bitcoin over 30,000 in quite some time. Coming in at number two is Ethereum at 1,883. My beloved XRP is number six at 49 cents. Moving on, we are at a sea of green. We all know why. All of the institutional players are coming in, and looks like Pepe the meme coin is the biggest gainer today at a plus 41.1%. The crypto fear and greed index is in greed at 59. And this is what I'm talking about here. Crypto Trader Pro put this thing out. 40 billion flows into Bitcoin market cap in 24 hours. And then actually having this article is 30K BTC next. And actually, as we already saw, it is. Moving on here, we have CoinGraph put this thing out. Meme of the day, you know what might happen next. You got Blackrock sitting behind the dam, the SEC, with Trent Trillion, and we got poor little Bitcoin by themselves. And we all know eventually what's going to happen. And this is what's going on. After BlackRock threw in the head in the ring for the spot Bitcoin ETF, it's been nonstop with all the other big players doing the same. We have Coindex putting out new crypto exchange, Markets EDX, backed by TradFi giants Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Citi Securities, launched on Tuesday with fresh investment in a different business model. Of course, that's all because BlackRock did it, so now they're all going to jump on board. Wisdom Tree, who filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF today, has one investor named RRE Ventures. The co-founders are James and Jim Robinson, which is a father and son duo. James is the board of Interstellar and ex-chairman of CEO of American Express. And JP Morgan, his son Jim Robinson, is on the board of Ripple. It does say that here. I believe I'm not 100% sure because I didn't see the name, but he might have been on the Ripple before, unless he's still currently there and I missed it. But either way, both these gentlemen have some background with Stellar XLM and Ripple XRP, so they're involved and they're dipping their toes in their Bitcoin ETF. And this is a shout out to Tony Edwards from Thinking Crypto. He writes, another one, folks, everyone is joining the party for Bitcoin's retracement to the 40K range. And this is because a 1.49 trillion Invesco officially reactivates its spot Bitcoin ETF filing as well. Like I said, BlackRock did it. Now they're all coming in. Shout out to Kayla Long. She put out, wow. But what he won't say is that the Fed thinks only large incumbents should service crypto. Startups that comply with all the Fed laws, rules, and regulations are being kept out, while Fed lets large incumbents proceed. Master account list reveals stunning incumbent bias by the Fed, and that's because we have here breaking. Federal Reserve Chair says crypto appears to have staying power as an asset class. He wasn't singing that tune before, but now that he got his marching orders from the incumbents, BlackRock, Fidelity, and the others, now he changed his tune. And I agree with Caitlin Long. He wasn't going to give crypto the okay until the incumbents got in and were ready to play. Moving on. Shout out to eGraph Crypto. He has his charts and he put out this today. The XRP Twilight Zone, 550 to 640, and that is an update. XRP is nearing the Twilight Zone with a W formation. The non-logarithmic W formation measure target is between 75 cents and 85 cents. B, the logarithmic W formation measure target is between $1 and 120. C, the symmetrical triangle full send breakout target is around 550. And D, the fib 1.618 target is at $6.40. And if you want to look at it, the charts, you can look him up. He puts it out over here. Moving to another chart analyst, we have Dark Defender, who put the magic stair for XRP, the road to success. And I believe he has the 3 steps over here. The first one, I believe, is 89 cents. And the next one is $1.39. And then he has the other one at $3.39. which is not too far off from the previous one. So they're not exact, but they're close to range. So I'll be good with either one of those charts that come out to play. Okay, moving on from there. I just thought this was interesting, not breaking news or anything, but Cameron Winklevoss, one of the twins, he put this thing out. We found Bitcoin in Ibiza, of all places, on a holiday in the summer of 2012. We started digging into it and learning about it. When we got back to the States pretty quickly, the light bulb turned on. There's that aha moment, because the more we dug into Bitcoin, three things jumped out to us. Money is broken, finance is broken, and the internet is broken. And you know what? Good for them. They discovered it early. I wish I got in that early, but I didn't. But hey, better late than never, but good for them. Moving on. Here we have this Bitcoin maxi Max Kaiser. This guy is just he's relentless and he doesn't stop the attack on Ripple and XRP. He writes, as I keep telling you guys, the SEC swept away the independent crypto exchanges and players to make room for BlackRock, Wisdom Tree, Fidelity, etc. to get into Bitcoin. XRP ain't going to win their case. This was never about the law. XRP was Mark Fiddaf and Gary's job is to kill it, basically. And then Ripple Van Winkle responds to him, Max, why don't you move to El Salvador? Let us know how it goes. And you know what? I feel the same way. But, you know, just as an American, he seems to be happy with corrupt government officials doing the bidding of the incumbents and not what's doing right for the people. Like, if you're an American, you should have, I don't care if you're a Bitcoin maxi, Ethereum maxi, XRP maxi, or whatever maxi you want to be, and you shouldn't be a maxi, because I support all good cryptos in the crypto space, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, XLM, Algo, Hedera, it doesn't matter. If you're doing something good, you're a store of value, you have a real world use case, you should be supported, as long as you're not doing anything criminal, corrupt, and scammy. But as an American, forget about crypto. As an American, I don't want to see any government agency doing something corrupt. And clearly, there's no longer speculation. Bill Hinman 100% lied, perjured himself during his deposition. The SEC, not knowing what a security is or not, arguing and going back among themselves, dropped a lawsuit on Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Lawson when they know they should not have. And this guy seems to be okay with the corruption, and I don't condone that at all. So, but one day he'll get it. Moving on from there, we have Brad Garlinghouse, who liked this tweet, and this is what he liked. Always remember that to argue and win is to break down the reality of the person you're arguing against. It is painful to lose your reality, so be kind, even if you are right. And that is a quote, I guess, from this person here, Haruki Murakami, but I didn't butcher that too bad. So I'm going to try and remember this advice when XRP takes off after the lawsuit is over, and I'll try to be kind as I could to Kaiser, that Bitcoin maxi. And speaking about the corruption, let me just play this here real quick. This is Blackrock Recruiter says politicians are easy to buy and war is good for business. I'll just play the first part of it.
They don't want to be in the news. They don't want people to talk about them. They don't want to be anywhere on the radar.
Why not?
I don't know, but I suspect it's probably because it's easier to do things when people aren't thinking about it. All of these financial institutions, they buy politicians. You can take this big ton of money, and then you can start to buy people. I work for BlackRock.
Meet Serge Varley, a recruiter at BlackRock.
Let me tell you, it's not the who's the president. It's who's controlling the wallet. So it's
And who's that?
the hedge funds, BlackRock, the banks. These guys run campaign financing. Yep, you can buy your candidates. Obviously, we have the system.
So, I mean, it's not shocking. We all know this. The corruption runs deep. And not just in this country. That's in any government around the world. We know that the money talks, BS walks. And it's just not good to see. And this is the point with Max Kaiser. You shouldn't be happy that this type of stuff is going on. And you should be upset, not applauding it. And these things, they should not be taking place. And hopefully, one day, maybe in my lifetime, we can get rid of the corruption. Okay, moving on. This is what we had from earlier, that Fed Chair Jerome Powell sees stablecoins as a form of money, which is what Kalen Long put out. Moving on from there, Jeremy Allaire, he put out proud that Circle was named in the Time 100 most influential companies in 2023, highlighting our work with the UNHCR in delivering USD digital cash to Ukrainian war refugees. So that's good to see. It's good for the whole space. DJ Peter Vass put this thing out. IMF quietly recognized XRP for cross-border payments in 2018. Moving on from there, Johnny didn't put this thing up. Martin Heisbach and Brad Garlinghouse gave a separate interviews or speeches, and both said when they were overseas in the UAE or United Kingdom or in Hong Kong, etc., when the SEC and or Ripple case came up, the response was, "Who cares what the SEC says? We don't," or similar words. And that was in response to this, where it says, Dan Tapia wrote, "If you are wondering what the price action in Bitcoin and Ethereum is telling you, it's telling you that Gary Gensler doesn't matter." And that pretty much sums it up right there. Okay, moving on. Mr. Huber put out, "Hey, Mark Fagel, we are on the same side for once. This lawyer says giving Ethereum a free pass on the ICO and excluding it from securities regulation on the basis of decentralization was the only logical outcome. What legal basis and precedent has sufficient decentralization?" And you know what? The guy has a very good point. I honestly, I thought Mark Fagel was a good guy, but I have to tell you, when you see everything that has come out, that is no longer speculation, 100% confirmed. I have to question your integrity when you still are a super staunch supporter of the SEC and cannot see that what they were doing was 100% wrong. You got Bill Hinman, who perjured himself. You got the SEC acting in bad faith, and he doesn't seem to want to recognize that those things took place. You know what? You can like an agency, but you can't keep supporting them, or at least not recognize if a few of the bad apples in that agency are doing something wrong. You have to stand up and call it out. And he seems to be ignoring those things that went on. Here he wrote, this is a response to a thread, but he right here, which is fine for historical purposes, but irrelevant under securities law. Ripple is the seller of the security for registration purposes. It doesn't matter if they're not the legal entity that created the token. And then Oliver on the bottom wrote, it's crazy how security laws can be twisted to the point where common sense has completely left the room. And I agree with that 100%. And Mark Fagel wrote, to the contrary, this is common sense. Imagine the alternative. SEC, we are suing you for running a Ponzi scheme. The schemer, but I didn't create the security that fraudulently sold. They were given to me by my friend. SEC, oh, never mind. Sorry to bother you. And then Joel Katz, David Schwartz, the Ripple CTO wrote, if it's irrelevant, it doesn't matter. Why do so many people insist on lying about it? You know what? He makes a very good point. So it is relevant. And here we have Mr. Berrigan. He wrote, just pathetic, almost complicit. And this is the where Mike Novogratz said dimes to donuts that they would see ETH as a security, but no longer security. I'll let you play it and let him say it.
I bet dimes to donuts. They will say Ethereum probably was a security, it's not anymore.
I think we have an intraday chart, by the way, of Ethereum. Let's see if we can pop it up there. This is what I'm talking about. So you can see over there, that was after the comments by the SEC. So interesting market action there, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is a nascent.
This is why insider trading is against the law, people. Okay, right here. Okay.
Exactly. So I will bet you, Mike Novogratz, dimes to donuts, that you had a conversation with Bill Hinman or somebody from the SEC or Joseph Lubin. It wasn't you had a crystal ball and you saw into the future and you said exactly what Bill Hinman would go on to say shortly after you made those comments. You do not have a crystal ball. You only said that because you knew Bill Hinman was going to say that. I bet you dimes to donuts on that. And if you don't believe me, shout out to Digital Perspective and also Jimmy Valley. It says here, he wrote, hey, Novogratz, can you help us understand this one? And then Jimmy Valley wrote, the Hinman speech, which was first distributed within the SEC on June 4th, 2018, the next day, June 5th, the day after the speech was distributed, Novogratz makes his infamous dimes to donuts comments regarding Ethereum. And then only the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, the VC working group, and the SEC knew the speech was in the works. Persons from the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance who communicated with Bill Hinman May 2017 to December 2020. Yeah, Joseph Lubin right here, Vitalik Buterin. And let's just scroll down, and who do we see? Mike Novogratz from Galaxy Digital. So clearly, the very next day after that speech was put out, you have Mike on TV saying how he bets dimes to donuts, that this is going to be stated or thought of, and that's exactly what happens. Yeah, you don't got a crystal ball. We all know what's going on here. You are just as corrupt as the rest of them. But you know what? We're gonna leave it right there. So okay, fam, that's going to do it for today's video. If you found this video to be helpful, would you please smash the like and subscribe? I would really appreciate it, and it doesn't cost you anything. Thank you much in advance. And in the words of Snoop Dogg, keep your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Peace out, fam.